she got fired. They basically told her,
"You can't stick with us!"
hello, welcome, or welcome back. This is Kayrinatv. I hope you're all doing okay. It's officially fall, which means that it's time for me to step it up and make more TVD content, which is what I do. And specifically more commentary videos, some outfit videos, of course. I have not posted a long video in a long periodically time. But you know what? I have kind of like made the setup better. The budget kind of increased for the setup. Look at the fireplace going on behind me. I don't know. I like it. Let me know in the comments if you guys like the setup or not, and I will change it up if you want me to. So, I'm going to kick off the fall season with a very special video because I'll be discussing the origin of the Vampire Diaries. Sit back, relax, maybe have a blood bag in hand if you want, and enjoy. Let's go back to September of 2009. The CW would premiere one of its biggest TV shows ever. But the truth is that the story of the Vampire Diaries started almost 2 decades before Mystic Falls and the Salvatore brothers and Elena Gilbert hit our screens. Well, actually, not my screen. I was only like 6 years old when it first started airing. If you watched the show while it was airing, you're very lucky, and I'm jealous of you. Surprisingly, some people don't know this, but Julie Plec is not the original creator of the Vampire Diaries. She's a creator of legacies. But not the Vampire Diaries. It was actually a woman named L.J. Smith, and I'll be referring to her in past tense because unfortunately she passed away a few months ago, back in March, due to an autoimmune disease, so rest in peace to her. She was a creative legend. She not only wrote the Vampire Diaries, but she also wrote another popular series called The Secret Circle, which, as well as Vampire Diaries, was picked up by the CW and became a TV show. However, it only lasted one season from 2011 to 2012. Justice for the Secret Circle, by the way. I've heard many good things about it. I don't want to watch it because what if it ends in a cliffhanger and I won't ever know what happens because it was canceled? That would get me so mad. Fun fact though, Phoebe Tonkin, who's the actress that plays Haley Marshall in both TVD and the originals, was also a character in The Secret Circle. She played this mean girl named Faye Chamberlain.
So you're the new girl?
Yeah, that's me.
You're very pretty.
And another fun fact, Kevin Williamson, who was a writer on The Vampire Diaries, was also a co-writer on The Secret Circle. So we have some familiar faces here. Okay, going back to the Vampire Diaries books. In September of 1991, the world was graced by the story of the Vampire Diaries. And it was titled The Awakening. I have it here. She's all banged up, but whatever. And yeah, it was released to the public. Anyway, let's look at the behind the scenes of the making of this story. So L.J. Smith was hired by a publication company named Alloy Entertainment. They are a subsidiary of the Warner Bros. So they handle the publication of books and the production of TV series, some of which you probably know and love. The 100, Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars. So that's who they are, basically. So L.J. Smith entered a work for hire situation. She signed a contract, and a very aggressive contract, by the way, with Alloy Entertainment to basically, they told her, hey, I need you to write this really good series. I need a love triangle going on between these two vampire brothers, one of them being the bad boy, Damon.
Hello, brother.
And the other one being the nice, noble, kind brother.
For over a century, I have lived in secret, hiding in the shadows, alone in the world.
And I want them to fight over this one human girl named Elena Gilbert. That's how it all started. L.J. Smith did her big one. She put her L.J. Smithacy into it, like how Paul Wesley put his Stephacy into his character Stephen Salvatore on the show.
You are so devilishly cunt, it's phenomenal that Stephacy never stops. Jesus Christ. This is. Even Greg thinks that's. My God.
But yeah, she delivered. She did such a good job. And everything was good in the world. L.J. Smith wrote 8 of the 13 Vampire Diaries books. Why only 8 if there's 13? Well, I mentioned before that L.J. Smith entered into a very strict, aggressive contract with Alloy Entertainment. One of the terms was that she was never allowed to have publishing rights or any rights over her own creation, like zero. She never got anything, like any rights to her books. Unfortunately, that's what is stated in the contract. So by the time she was writing up a draft for, I think it was like the 9th book or something, it was called Vampire Diaries, the Hunters Trilogy, the first book, Phantom. She was writing a draft for that. She got fired. They basically told her,
You can't sit with us!
yeah, she got booted off of her own creation that she spent so much time working on, and they did not care. Also, fun fact, actually a very sad fact, is that the same thing happened to LJ Smith while she was writing The Secret Circle. So imagine getting kicked off of not one of your creations, but 2. So you're probably asking, why did that happen? LJ Smith and Alloy Entertainment had disagreements or disputes over where they wanted the books to go and what direction. For example, LJ Smith really wanted to focus on Elena and Damon's relationship for some time and really develop their friendship / relationship, like platonically and then romantically, of course. But the production company disagreed. They didn't want that to happen. They didn't want to do that for some reason. Another thing is she wanted to develop Damon's relationship with Bonnie Bennett. Yeah, she was fired. Ghostwriters then took her place. They were hired by Alloy Entertainment to finish writing these books. And they wrote like books 8 or 9 through book 13, which is a final book. People wonder and ask, who is Endgame in the books? Because in the show, we know that Delena is Endgame. And I'm here to tell you that Delena is also Endgame in these books. Yeah. It's a win for Delena fans, but not for Stelena fans like myself. Very upsetting. Like, we can't get Stelena like anywhere, kind of. There is one place we will get Stelena as Endgame, and I'll talk about that later. Ironically enough, though, some of the things that LJ Smith wanted to happen in the books are the things that happened in the show. For example, in season 6, when Bonnie and Damon were trapped in the prison world, the writers developed their friendship a bit. It never became romantic. Now, that's something that happened in the books. Fun fact, Damon and Bonnie did get romantic at one point and they kissed, but that was all that happened, really. I don't think anything major other than that happened between them. But anyway, the show, yeah, they became friends, which is something that I loved. I wanted them to be besties. I think their friendship was so cute. And another fun fact, Ian Somerhalder, who plays Damon Salvatore, and Kat Graham, who plays Bonnie Bennett, they kept requesting the writers to make Bayman happen. So Bonnie and Damon's ship name, Bayman. They wanted something romantic to happen between them, especially after Nina Dobrev left the show after season 6. But Julie Plec and friends never did that.
I don't know. I'm feeling like Damon is still madly in love with Elena. Bonnie's going to maybe have her own love interest this year, and it's not going to be Damon, so...
Sorry, Bayman fans.
Sorry,
Ain't happening. Rejected. But the thing is, thanks for the award, though.
On the record, I'm open to that, and I know the fans would like to see something like that. But you know, it's their show.
Don't mess with the good thing. That's how we think.
Bonnie and Damon fucking rock.
They do.
Yeah.
They do
Little
really
Damon.
rock.
Bonnie and Kai.
Yeah, there's been some really fun stuff. I mean, you know, there's so much that goes on the show.
That's a whole other video for another day because some fans actually really wanted Bayman to happen as well. Another thing that the show did that LJ Smith wanted to do was that they developed Damon and Elena's relationship a lot from like season 3 onward to season 6, I guess, before she left. They really developed their relationship and they became Endgame at the end, as we all know. So that's another thing. Now, there are a lot of differences between the books and the show. And one of the most notable differences was that Elena Gilbert was a blonde girl with blue eyes. And she was a mean girl. Like, I read some of the first book. I never finished the series. Maybe I should. Anyway, while I was reading the first book, it was just so unbearable how mean she was. Like, it was really just annoying. I like characters who have that, who are a little mean and who have that sass and stand their ground, but she was just doing too much. It was just really annoying. Personality wise, we know in the show, Elena Gilbert is the humble girl next door and completely different from book Elena.
One of the concerns that the network and studio had with regards to the book was that Elena was a little unlikable.
Elena in the books was kind of a bitchy mean girl, I guess is the best way to put it.
In the books, Elena's sort of that queen bee, popular girl, gets what she wants whenever she wants it.
That was one of our concerns. You can't have a pilot episode and dislike your lead lady. You can't, you have to like your heroine instantly.
If I had to characterize her like that from the beginning, I don't think anybody would have cared as much about the love story.
I want you to keep this that way. You'll know if you're ever in danger.
In the show, we all know Elena Gilbert is a brunette with brown eyes. A sad fact is that a lot of people were bothered by that.
I first got the part and it was announced that I was playing Elena. So many people were outraged that I wasn't blonde, and they were saying, is she gonna dye her hair? Like, this can't be possible.
L.J. Smith, the novelist of the Vampire Diaries, spends a lot of time talking about Elena's beautiful blonde hair, and everybody who knew the books first always saw Elena with blonde hair.
Well, not exactly the case right here.
And truthfully, when we set out to cast Elena, we were hoping we would find a beautiful blonde actress to become our Elena.
I absolutely 100% understand why the fans were upset that Elena wasn't blonde. That being said, we have to build a television series that can run for many years, and it hinges around the actress who brings Elena to life. It was a sacrifice that had to be made, and we're not sorry.
Because I guess in your head, when you're reading a book, you imagine this person in your head the way that the author describes them to be. And so while they were watching TVD, it was like she was nothing like how they imagined. So I guess I can see why they were upset, but like, I can't imagine anyone other than Nina Dobrev playing Elena Gilbert. Like, she killed it. Also, like, she played Catherine Pierce at the same time, and Amara Tasya. She did an amazing job. She's such a good actress.
You need to chill yourself.
Chill myself. Oh, okay, I get it. It's stoner talk. Dude, you're so cool.
When Nina came in and sort of showed us what she could do, then we're just like, she's the girl to beat. And no blonde-haired actress walked in and beat her.
Another difference is that in the books, Elena Gilbert has a young sister. I think she's like 4 years old. Her name is Margaret. And of course, in the show, Elena has a younger brother, teenage brother, Jeremy Gilbert.
I was about to read the books until I found out my character was originally a 4-year-old girl named Margaret. So I figured that wouldn't affect my character all too much.
Some people were a little frustrated with that when they first saw the show, because Margaret played a very key role in the books, and that Margaret was the one who invited Damon into the house for the first time.
It's a pain in the butt to have a 4-year-old character on the show. And we also needed more men. There wasn't enough guys in the show that weren't vampires, so that's why we added the brother character, Jeremy.
Going back to the Stelena versus Delena thing, a fun fact is that Stelena was supposed to be Endgame in the show. So Kevin Williamson, one of the main writers of the TV show, had stated in the past, it's stated in articles, and also Julie Plec talks about this as well, that they had planned for Stelena to be Endgame. However, since Nina Dobrev left the show after season 6, because it's been recently revealed she left the show because she was paid a lot less than Paul Wesley and Ian Somerhalder, who were their co-stars, which is insane to me because when I think of TVD, I immediately think of Elena and Nina Dobrev. I think she was a main character. So it's just crazy how she was paid less than them, considering she also played a bunch of other different characters. So that's crazy. So yeah, Selena was supposed to be Endgame in the show, but it couldn't happen. Some good news though, but also sad news. Back in 2013, Amazon released this publishing service named Kindle Worlds. It was a good place for people to write fanfics about their favorite shows, books, comics, whatever. And LJ Smith took this opportunity to write a fan fiction or multiple books about her own show that she was fired from. I believe in her version of the Vampire Diaries books, Stelena is Endgame. Now, that is the history behind the origin of the Vampire Diaries and the tragedy that the original creator, LJ Smith, faced. Yeah, it's sad. I feel like to this day, LJ Smith is still not given the amount of credit she deserves. People think of Julie Plec or Kevin Williamson or the CW when they think of the Vampire Diaries, and not so much LJ Smith, unfortunately. And I feel like LJ Smith kind of walked so that Stephanie Meyer could run because Stephanie Meyer, being the author of Twilight, her Twilight book came out in 2005, and LJ Smith's Vampire Diaries book came out in 1991. So, yeah, it was horrible what they did to her. All of the Vampire Diaries books actually still have her name on it. Yeah. Even the books she didn't write have her name on it as well. But the publishing company kind of found a loophole to that because they can't say the author or by LJ Smith. So instead, they wrote created by LJ Smith on all the books. So, yeah. And of course, she wasn't paid for all those other books she didn't write because she was kicked off. But just sad. That was the history. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And bye.
Stop it. Yeah, they're mean.